Here is a quick overview of how you can use the stop motion app on the iPad. When you open up the app, the first thing you're going to want to do is click on where it says New Movie. Usually this kind of thing pops up and you can just dismiss it from your screen so it goes away, although it may give you a helpful hint, so feel free to take a look at it. First thing you're going to need to do is to take some pictures. So I strongly suggest that you get your iPad set up in a location where it can sit still, and then the item that you want to actually move, or items, can then that you can just move those a little bit rather than trying to hold your iPad, something like that. That's not going to work very well. So finding a good place for your iPad so it can take the pictures that you need is how you're going to start. Now, to make a stop motion video look like it's really going to be a movie, you need to take a great deal of pictures and move the object only slightly. So I've actually opened up another project so I didn't have to retake a bunch of pictures. And so what I have are a whole bunch of pictures across the bottom here, and you're going to see a couple of the things that are added in as well. So once you have your pictures taken, another thing you can do is set the duration time of the pictures. And you do that by starting with this little wheel here, and when you press that, it tells you how many frames per second are going at this particular time. So that FPS stands for frames per second. The default is 5. Now, if you need this to be a certain length, or if you keep it at 5, it's way too short, you can expand that obviously to a different number. But keep in mind, the slower you get it, the less realistic it's going to look like in an actual movie situation. So what you can do is you can adjust it, and then you can click done on here, and then you can play it again to see if it's giving you what you need for as far as what the movie is going to look like. Again, if it isn't correct, you can simply go back here and adjust that time higher or lower depending upon what you need. In this particular example, I needed to be able to speak during this movie, but because this is so short, even with 60 pictures, it really is a very, very short movie. And so what I needed to do is kind of pause so that I could have time to speak, and then the movie would progress. If you tap on any one of the pictures, and I'm going to tap on one so you can see it, you can see that all these different choices are possible. So you can delete a picture if you no longer want it. You can copy a picture. But what I did was I used the pause right here. So if I push that pause, and then you can choose how many times, like how many slides that you want it to pause. And so I initially, because I really had no idea how long that recording was going to take, I initially went all the way to the end and I chose 99. And then I realized that that was too long. I was done speaking and the picture was still paused. And so then I needed to go back and adjust it. And that's what makes this so easy, is that you can constantly go back and adjust. And now you can see kind of behind the scenes here where the 70 is, I have this paused for 70. And as I said, I needed to speak in here. So the other thing I was able to do is add a voice recording. And you do that using the microphone. Now, if it's your first time using this, it's going to ask if you can have access to the microphone, just like it'll ask if it can have access to a camera when you get started. But once you push that, then you're going to push record down here on the bottom, and then it says preparing for recording, and it does a countdown, and then it just starts recording right away. So right now it's actually recording my voice as I have it right now. And when you're ready, you push stop. Then you can play that back if you'd like to, and if you like it, you can say done. If not, you can cancel and try again. Because I already have a recording, I'm going to cancel that part of it. Now, in my particular recording, I had this long pause here, and I kind of explained what was happening at the very beginning while this was staying in place. And then I had things start to move. And then I had another spot where I paused and I needed to explain what was happening here. And then I proceeded on. And once again, I had another pause to what was happening here. If you need to record, this is one way you could do it, but another option is just to have that whole movie continue so the whole thing is one continuous movement on there. Now, there are some other things that you can do. I'm not going over every part of this particular app, but keep in mind that some of these things are not available because this is a free app and you would need to upgrade or pay for some of the other things. So, for example, under the plus sign where it says add titles and credits, it would be great to be able to put a title at the beginning of this. However, that's an extra fee. So if I click on that, it's going to show me that all of these things are locked and I would need to pay for them. So really everything underneath this plus sign is an extra if I'm going to add an audio or a video clip or something like that. Now, once I'm done and I have this the way I want it, I'm going to go back out of it here with this arrow key, and I'm going to arrow back to my project. And then you see you can go back to edit with this circle and the pencil. Obviously you can delete, but if you're ready to get this into your camera roll, you're going to use the share button that you see there, and then you're going to export the movie that you see at the top, and then that's going to allow you to do this save video, and then when you save this, it's going to go to your camera roll. Now keep in mind that another option if you want to do a little app smashing is that you could bring in this completed movie into iMovie and then add your titles and that kind of thing, and really even some more speaking, or if you wanted some audio like a music to go behind it, you could bring it into iMovie and add some more finishing touches into it. Have fun making a stop motion video.